There's like a million flavors of slice if you know how to manipulate the different variables. You have one predominant flavor right now, which is a very aggressive vertical drop of the racket. And so that results in a lot of spin, not always really a whole lot of penetration through the court. And depending on the exact angle of the racket, we either have a shot that's effective, like kind of skims right over the top of the net, has a whole ton of spin, doesn't really go very deep in the court, kind of lands a little bit shorter and kind of skids low. Or if the face is a little more open, a ball that really kind of floats and kind of hovers and hangs there and ends up kind of sitting on the other side because of all the backspin. Does that sound like an accurate description?
Yeah, yeah. Very
and then you've got like stuff in between, but the common like denominator between them is a whole mess of backspin, and that's because of how aggressively you come down at the ball. And so it's possible to hit a great shot this way, but it's only one style or flavor. You're starting well above where you're going to meet the ball, coming downwards really aggressively, and there's just a big downwards cut at the ball. We basically have two planes of motion here. We have a lateral plane of motion towards our target, and then we have a downward plane of motion, which is what's creating the backspin. So what we're going to learn how to do is adjust the ratio of down to forwards.
Okay.
Right now you're very skewed in the direction of down, and so for kind of experimentation and feeling kind of the opposite end of the spectrum, we're going to shift in the other direction and really kind of emphasize the forward or the lateral. Right. So let's start off in the middle of the service line, and let's do some slow shadow swings. And I'd like you to start off shadow swinging exactly what you're doing right now. Okay. So show me that downward accentuated motion on purpose. Yep. Yeah, good awareness. Now show me what you think it would look like to be on the other end of the spectrum. So very much focused on the lateral plane of motion as opposed to downward. Yep, that's good plane. Yep. Like here's the starting point of the swing. Here's where like imaginary contact would be. So just a little bit lower, and then you're continuing forwards. Absolutely achieved your objective, which was to go in the opposite direction. The critical missing part here is racket face at contact should be flat. On a slice, on a good slice, the racket face is close to square. It's a little bit open, but not very much.
Crazy.
No, not very much at all. So as you come down to contact, the racket face should turn and square, and then as you continue out towards your target, it should actually open up again.
Okay.
Yep. So it's open, flat, and open. Yep. Here's the ball again. Aggressive drop. Yep. And now show me a shadow swing with the level lateral approach towards the ball. One more of those. And then I'm going to toss the ball, and you're going to do the same thing. Doesn't really matter where the ball goes. Just show me that same level lateral swing path. Okay, good. One more shadow swing. Yep. Here's the ball again. Lateral. Good. So here's the flat execution. So there's still drop down to the ball. You're really not coming down below probably like belly button, a little bit higher than waist height.
Okay.
And then here's the actual execution. It's really nice, actually. So this is more what I would like to see as like a rally slice, because we're going to have some carry into the court. It's going to be easier to keep an opponent neutralized. The aggressive cut down is great for when you want to pull somebody forwards or you're looking to like leave it short. And then this is what you look like when you go for the aggressive. A big difference. So now the racket's coming way down below your knees, which was pretty common during your rallies, and then back up again. And then here's the actual execution. Interestingly, you actually kind of flattened it out a bunch. You didn't really come down at it as steeply. Yeah, you kind of can't swoop back up again right after contact. On most of the rallies that we saw,
it went straight down.
Yeah, it kept like diving down like well past contact. So I found that kind of interesting. Yeah, from contact you go like well down below where you met the ball.
Right.
Before finally coming back up like on the other side of your body. Good. Nice job. Here's your last shadow swing. And your last 2 hits. To me, this is a pretty good balance now. I think you've kind of split the difference. I definitely wouldn't call this aggressively lateral. Like there's a good amount of down and up to it, but it's not so aggressive like it was before, where it was super, super steep. It's going back to no man's land. Will, can you please switch to a feed? All right, let's start off with thuds. So just all thuds for a minute or two. Show me a shadow swing. Shadow swing and then 2 feeds, please. Just easy feeds. Yep. Yep, yeah, it's like borderline, like drive almost. That's good, yeah. Let's see 2 more of those. Now let's see 2 heavy brushes. So very steep drop and open racket face. Looking for a lot of spin on these 2. Yes, yeah. This is basically your normal slice. See one more please, one more feed. Good. And now let's split I want you to split the difference between the 2. So halfway in between that like flush, basically drive is what you just showed me, and the heavy spin that you just, Does that make sense? So halfway in between. One shadow swing first. Okay, good. All right, so these are the drives. Basically came at these like dead flat. Look at that. They're totally flush. Came at it from a little bit high, down to the ball. But then you really just kind of kept the racket face flat the whole way through. So that really good execution of one far end of the spectrum. Like very, very direct and straight. Just flush right at the ball. And then this is the heavy slice. So really aggressive downward
angle
path. And what's interesting is see that the face is open, but not a ton.
Right.
You got like, I don't know how much, what would you say? Maybe 10 degrees or something?
Yeah,
15 or
yeah.
something like that?
Barely.
Yep. So it is open, but not a ton. Here's your hybrid. I think it was really good. Kind of split the difference between the 2.
It does look, yeah.
Doesn't it?
A little more closed, a little bit flatter.
Yeah. So I think this should be your new like normal
slice,
middle of the road slice. The one you've been hitting can be a great utility shot, but I don't think it fits in with a 4-5 plus rally ball scenario. It's just too spinny, too floaty, too difficult to keep somebody back behind the baseline.
Right.
With that shot. This is a much better mix of forces, of lateral force and spin. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I think you did a great job with that one. No?
Not bad.
Yeah.
That was not bad fish.
All right, so let's try to zero in now on the hybrid.
Okay.
Kind of a 50-50 mix of good amount of forward force, but also some spin on it. Let's do one shadow and then 3 feeds, please. Yeah, that's nice. That's nice, John. Little spinny, a little bit spinny. Yeah, I like that better. Yeah. You're going to start developing a very detailed feel for this over time. Really nice, good mix. Nice, I like it. A little more on the drive side. And that was very driven, like very direct, very straight. Okay, shadow swing. Small changes makes a big difference in how the ball flies. So a little more acceleration through these now, but not a whole lot. Nice, John. Shot. Nice, John. Really nice, really nice. Good, good. As you start leveling it out a little bit, you should be able to hit past the service line really easily with just a really calm, smooth swing, like the one that you just hit. Previously, you were really kind of cutting at it and hacking at it and barely creating any depth at all. You should be able to calmly basically just unwind, let your racket just kind of fall and drive it through with your body and easily create a penetrating shot. It's basically what we're looking for without all the cutting and chopping.
Right.
All right, so let's define like really specifically the result we're looking for. Let's say at least a little more towards thud than towards spin.
Okay.
As far as like sound or amount of action on the ball. 3 feet over the net and well past the service line is like our ideal shot.
Okay.
That's what we're trying to achieve with each of your swings here. Good, that's perfect right there, John. Perfect right there. Just off center. Good, number 1 and number 3, dead on, dead on. Let's see that again. Shadow swing and then execute. How'd those feel to you?
Pretty thuddish.
Yeah.
I don't know how to describe it. Like,
okay, yeah.
solid.
Yeah, they look pretty easy. Nice job, nice job. All right, on a live ball now, we're looking for that ideal shot, which again, 3 feet over the nets, more towards the thud side of the equation than the spin side of the equation, and easily past the service line. I think the last couple of shots you've made are really nice examples of just calm, easy, just unwinding and hitting easy depth without you having to work hard to get it deep in the court, which is exactly what we're going for. Really nice, John. All right, that's good, that's good. This high one's really impressive. You came down at it just enough to create the spin we were looking for, and then the rest of your force was focused on getting the ball into the court and out past the service line on his side. It was a really good example of high slice without chopping down at it. But I just wanted you to look at kind of what these looked like. Just a lot more calmness, like you're trying much less on these.
Right.
But I know that you're creating much more depth than you were on the rallies.
On day one.
Yeah, much more. See how steep that first one is?
Right.
Just like a big downward chop. You're using probably twice as much effort and creating less depth than you were on the calm ones that we just looked at. Shot. Nice, John. Awesome, John. That's a really good ball. It's a really good ball.